All right. Actually, because of time, we're going to skip that one, which is okay. Just a reminder about notation. Notation is just how we write things in math. Just a reminder that when you use an equal sign, you shouldn't have segments over your capital letters. They should be kind of empty. I don't want to say the word like naked. They're not naked. But there should be no segment above these when you're using an equal sign. Because those represent numbers, like 7 equals 7. But if I'm talking about segments, if I'm talking about the actual object, like A, B is congruent to C, D, congruent, I add tick marks, then I put the symbols on top and I use this one right here. It's like an equal with a squiggly on top. It means congruent. So that's just a reminder. I showed you that the first week of school and I didn't expect you to remember it, so I'm showing it to you again. Jonathan, you doing okay? Okay, so which one of these did I write incorrectly? They're all correct, except for one. I used the wrong notation. Figure out, don't yell it out yet. Figure out which one I kind of just did something wrong. The rest are perfect. Okay, I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to yell your answer out. Ready? Do you have it ready? A, B, C, or D? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, good job. The people who decided to speak up. Okay, good. The distance from A to B is 12. That one's written perfectly. Segment HI matches, is congruent to segment YO. Hi, yo. That one's perfect. You're so dorky. D. The distance from A to B plus the distance from B to D equals the distance from A to D. This is today's lesson. Right here. Cool. That one works. Uh-oh. What happened here? What's wrong? A number can't be congruent to a number. A number can equal a number, but a distance can't be congruent. The segment itself is congruent, but the distance is not. So that's enough about that. This is a reminder. Don't write this down because this is already in your vocab from Unit 1. Okay? Congruent segments are, read it. Everybody. 2 segments with the same length. That didn't go. That's okay. What do we use to show that they're congruent? I've been doing it a lot today. You put a little tick mark. And that will tell the world that AB is congruent to CD. Alrighty then. Here's what you write in your notes. Put a little box like I did. Kind of copy me. It's okay, copy. Midpoint. We're going to define a midpoint. And I didn't even give you the full definition. I'm going to force you to fill in the blank. A midpoint is a point that blank a segment into 2 blank segments. I'll give you a hint. This is a verb, and this is a noun. My daughter's in 1st grade. She's learning about verbs and nouns and adjectives. This is not here. Jonathan, any guesses as to what goes in either one of the blanks? You can pick either one. A point that does something to a segment and puts it into 2 blank segments. Splits. Splits is a good word. What's another word for splits? Divides. Very good. Splits, divides. I had divides in my head. But if you put splits, that's the same thing. A point that divides a segment into 2, what do you think, Seth?
Into 2
Perfect. Into 2 congruent segments. A point that divides a segment into 2 congruent segments. So if I had a piece of brownie left, and my 2 older girls are still awake, and they're fighting over this brownie, I would absolutely want to find the midpoint and cut it right down the middle, because you better believe Annabelle and Hallie are going to be like, hers is bigger, no, hers is bigger. Well, if they're exactly the same, if they're congruent, then then there's nothing to fight about. But I would have to cut it right down the middle so that they're not fighting. Oh, I got a little bit more than she did. If it really is congruent, there's nothing to fight about. Okay, which point is the midpoint? Sorry, I'm insulting your intelligence. Point. Which one's the midpoint? B. Point B is the midpoint of segment AC. What do I need to add in my picture to show that B really is the midpoint? Tick marks. Awesome. You guys would never know that I was up until past midnight last night. I never stay up past midnight, but I went to the Taylor Swift concert. I know, I'm so late. It was really fun though. It's at Minute Maid. Yeah. I bet. That would have been frustrating. Okay, I'm going to ask you to draw a figure. Please draw a figure that fits this description. 3 points A, B, and C are collinear. That means on the same line. And B is between A and C. Draw me a picture. Go. Draw a segment. Put those points on that segment. You don't have to write the description. Just draw me a picture. Ooh, this is good. Okay, I'm glad we're doing this. I'm seeing something. Draw a segment, please. You're not getting away with this. Draw a segment. Make sure you put B between A and C. Oh, so interesting. Raise your hand if you put B in the middle of A and C. I saw who did it, so you better raise your hand. Most of you, even though I use the word between, put B right smack in the middle. Did you have to put B in the middle?
No.
Did I say it was a midpoint? No. So it's not wrong if you put it in the middle. That is not wrong. But I want you to know the difference between the word between. That's confusing. Between the word between. Between the word between and the middle. You don't have to put it in the middle. I just said somewhere between. It could be closer to A. It could be closer to C. We don't really know. Or it could be right smack in the middle. All right. So what conclusions can we make? We're about to learn on the next slide what we can conclude. Go ahead and write this down. We had 2 goals today. One of the goals was midpoint, and the other goal was segment addition. So here we are. We're at segment addition. You need to write it down. This is the definition. Segment addition, it's actually a postulate. If 3 points, A, comma, B, comma, C, are collinear, and B is between A and C, then we need to complete the sentence. I'll give you a hint. It's going to equal the whole thing. What can I add together? Which segments can I add together and equal AC? A, B, good. And then I like to leave off to start where I left off. So A, B, and BC. Yep. Then AB plus BC equals AC. That's the postulate. In layman's terms, or in like conversational terms, part plus part equals whole. So it's saying that if I added the purple plus the green, I would equal the red. That's pretty easy. Purple plus green equals red. We can handle this. Part plus part equals whole. AB plus BC equals AC. So many ways to say one thing. Who needs more time? Okay. Oh, did you need more time? Sorry, John. Part equals whole. Okay. All right, I want you to draw segment GO on your page. Get it for geometry? Draw GO on your page. We're going to draw 3 GOs. So actually go ahead and draw 3 of them. 4. I know for geometry too. I needed an M. Draw that segment, but draw it 3 times. Don't put the 3x in the 27 yet. Draw this segment. We'll just start with the first one. Okay, so let's call on some people. Trinity, because of how I marked this figure, what do you know about point E? Yes, what's the vocab word? Midpoint. E is the midpoint. So that means, what is true, Yasmin, what's true about GE and EO? Oh my gosh, they are the same. What's another word for same? Everybody. Congruent, what's another word? Sort of an E. Equal. Thanks, Helen. They are equal. Anytime you see a midpoint, you can stick an equal sign above that midpoint. Remember, Hallie's piece of cake is equal to Annabelle's, or else Mom's in big trouble. Okay, so how would we solve this one? We would say, and we're not even going to solve it actually, we would say 3x equals 27, and that's because there was a midpoint. This isn't going to make much sense, so I'll show you all of them. Okay, here's the next geo segment. I changed things up a little bit on you. I changed things up. Draw this for a minute. What would we do here differently? Because we're going to have to do something different. Richard, is E still the midpoint? Yeah, it's not a trick question. Yes, there's tick marks. E is still the midpoint. But, oh no, we weren't given the half and the half. We are given the half and the whole. Helen, do you think you could write an equation for me how I could use 3x and 54? What would I do to solve for x? I'm given the half and the whole. Here, I'm gonna give an analogy. I'm ready for this. Okay, I had some extra money laying around, so I decided to give Helen $3 and Alejandro $6. Was that fair? Was that even? No. How could I make these even? What could I do to Helen's dollar amount to make it equal Alejandro's? Oh, you said add 3. Okay. What could I do? What's a different thing I could do? Okay, wait. Y'all aren't reacting, huh? Okay. How can I make the 3 look like 6? Double it. You can double it. Okay, pretend I don't have that much money. I can't give them both $6. So instead, I'm going to try to make it fair. How do I make Alejandro's look like Helen's? What can I do to 6 to make it look like 3? Divide by 2. So I could double hers, or I could half his. Double or half. Double or half. And the same thing works with this right here. I could double this guy, or I could half this guy. I need to make them equal. Right now, a half doesn't equal a whole. That's craziness. So I need to double one, or I need to half one. Sabian, which one do you want to do? There's no wrong answers. Do you want to double or half? He wants to half. Okay, so 3x equals, not 54. What's 54 divided by 2? Did you say it yet? What is it? 54 divided by 2. It's right up here. Hello, Earth to first period. No one grabbed their calculator today? Yeah, they're both 20. This side's 27 and this side's 27. So our equation looks just like this one. Could you have done 6x equals 54? Absolutely could have done 6x equals 54 because that's 3 double. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Last one on this slide. Your last geo segment to write down on your paper. I changed things up again on you on purpose. I took the tick marks away. Note, I took the tick marks away, so sorry if you already drew them, erase them. Alejandro, is E still the midpoint of GO? No. So, the first problem, it was a midpoint problem. The second problem, it was a midpoint problem. This one is a what problem? What's the last thing we learned? Segment addition. This one's a segment addition problem. And remember what I told you to think about? Part. Finish it off for me. Part plus part equals whole. So let's write an equation. We're not even going to solve it. Give me a part. 3x plus, give me another part. 26 equals, give me the whole thing. 54. And that's how you set it up. So we just spent a whole slide with really every situation I could throw at you. There's nothing I can throw at you other than these three things. We did half equals half. We did double the half to equal the whole. And we did part plus part equals whole. We're going strong. Now we're finally to example number 1. Write it down. See if you can do it by yourself. Every time you're given a problem, you need to decide, is this a midpoint problem or is this a segment addition problem? Is this a midpoint problem or is this a segment addition problem? So you need to put the information I gave you, put it on the diagram. Put it on the diagram. Do you have a brave soul who can go label my diagram? You don't have to solve anything. I'll give you Eagle Bucks if you go label my diagram. Jonathan, it's yours. Go. Just have to label it. Into diagram. I need numbers on the diagram. Looks great to me. Is this a midpoint problem or a segment addition problem, Richard? Midpoint or segment addition? Segment addition. Yasmin, what do we do for segment addition? Tell me what to write.
I forgot. Yeah.
No, but you have to tell me what to write.
15.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes.
What's and me in math? Equals 26. That's so beautiful. You get half your points sometimes for writing the equation, so write that equation. Oh my goodness, now you see why we did something that we did yesterday. What did we do yesterday? Algebra review, we solved for x. Very good. So we need to solve for x. What's the opposite of positive 15? Negative 15. X equals? No one grabbed their calculators. Helen's going to do our mental math for us. Thank you, ma'am. 11. Very good. Part plus part equals whole. Then you just solve for x. Setting it up is the geometry. Solving for x is the algebra. Try this one. Do we need a stretch break? No. I feel like I built it in myself. Ooh, we're almost done with class. Have no fear. Only like 9 minutes left. 9 minutes, that's forever. I need someone new to label this one. I'll give you 2 Eagle Bucks. That'll buy you candy or a bathroom pass. I need someone new. Helen, looks like you wanted to. Looks like you wanted to go label that. You don't solve anything, just label it. It's so fun to write on Smartboard. You need to start earning some Eagle Bucks anyways, because you haven't been in my class. I've done it better myself. Awesome. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, guys. Midpoint problem or segment addition problem? Did it say that E was the midpoint? Do you see tick marks? No and no. So segment addition. Absolutely. Whose card is up? Okay. Sabian, tell me what to write. Part plus part equals whole. What do I write? Yes, sir? Yeah. Yay! Beautiful. We're not not going to spend a long time on algebra. That's why we took a whole class period yesterday. So I'm just going to solve this. Ready? We are going to solve this. 3x plus x. 4x minus 6 equals 30. Yes. Opposite of minus 6 is plus 6. 4x equals 36. Opposite of multiplying by 4? Divide by 4. Beautiful answer. What is it? 9. We have another human calculator over there. Awesome. We need to get a midpoint one in before that bell rings. Let's get a midpoint one in. Your wish is my command. Go. Draw a picture. Find x. It tells it's the midpoint. So when you see the word midpoint, the first thing you should do is go to your picture and add tick marks to your picture. Every time you hear the word midpoint, you should add tick marks to your picture. Seth, are we given half and half or half and whole? So 28 is half? Yeah, very good. So we have to look really closely. We're given half and the whole. So don't you dare say 2x equals 28, right? Don't you dare say 2x equals 28. I told you you could double or you could half, but there's another way to look at it. I want to show you one more way. This has a tick mark and it says 2x. This has a tick mark, so how long is this one? 2x. So really, even though this is a midpoint problem, you could still, if you want, do part plus part equals whole. You could still do that. I think of it as just doubling 2x, but you can think of it as adding 2x plus 2x. What is 2x plus 2x? 4x. So here's our equation. 4x equals the whole thing, 28. Man, that's easy. X is 7. Divide by 4. 28 divided by 4. 7. This is the last problem. Should it be the last problem? Yeah, we don't need to do that one. Yep. Woohoo! Last problem of the day, and you don't have any homework. So show me you can do this problem. I'll give you an eagle buck, and then you are allowed to pack up. I should probably solve it too. Jonathan, midpoint problem or segment addition problem? Midpoint problem. Tick mark, tick mark. Trinity, were we given half and half or half and whole? Half and half. So remember what I told you on that one slide. You can just take that midpoint and you can just put an equal sign there. You already have your equation right there in your picture. They equal, they're the same, they've got to be the same. Done, you can pack up. Congratulations. Raise your hand when you're ready to show me what you got for X. Sorry. Oh, it's so tiny. Done, you can pack up. Congratulations. All excited about that pep rally today?
No.
Guys, where's your school spirit? Oh, you did too? You need to subtract 2x from both sides. You're not adding these. You need to move it over. Okay, I see people not using an equal sign. 4x equals 2x plus 12. Step 1 is right here. I won't do anything else, but you get it? Did you get it? Much better.